affairs. So current affairs is going to play a role in prelims. If you take the role of the current affairs, I say it will be around 5 to 20%. Sometimes they won't ask anything, right? Sometimes it will be 20%. Sometimes, right? So in 15, 43% of the questions come from current affairs. So you can't, right? So expect UPSC, it is unpredictable public service commission, right? Why? It is in the syllabus. So current affairs may happen in any of the following six subjects: science and tech. It's current affairs, geography, right? History, art and culture, polity, economics. It can happen anywhere. Therefore, you can't say it is out of syllabus. It's current affairs, is there. It may go. But generally speaking, at the lowest end, it may 5%. At the optimum end is 20%. At 20%, even yesterday's paper, you look at it, so 50-20 questions have been current affairs person, right? And the mains 25%. Of course, in the interview, current issues where 50% of the question after your biodata, 50% question come from current affairs. So it goes on increasing, which means that current affairs is an important part, and the art to tackle it has to be learned. I use the word current affairs. Current affairs, right? Current event சொல்லிக்கலாம். Current affairs சொல்றாங்க. What does that mean? இல்ல current awareness சொல்லிருக்கலாம். But use the word affairs. Why? Is there any specific reason? Okay. தெரியாம என்கிட்ட வந்திருக்கீங்க சொல்றேன். Right? Now, say, when I say an event, right? Event is an incident, right? Which happens at one place at a point of time. Okay? Right. முடிஞ்சு போச்சு. Okay. Now, whether event has any impact இருக்கலாம், இல்லாமல் இருக்கலாம். Okay. Whether event has any causes இருக்கலாம், இல்லாமல் இருக்கலாம். ஒரு விஷயம் அப்ரப்டா முடிஞ்சு போச்சு அப்படின்னா அது ஈவெண்ட். ஓகே, அவார்டு கொடுத்தாங்க, ரைட்? பாரத் ரத்னா அவார்ட் வாஸ் கன்ஃபர்ட், பத்மஸ்ரீ அவார்டு கன்ஃபர்ட், இத்தனை பேர் கொடுத்தாங்க, முடிஞ்சு போச்சு. ஓகே, வேற ரைட் when you take that ஒரு SCO மீட்டிங், ஷங்காய் கோஆபரேஷன் ஆர்கனைசேஷன், நேற்று ஒரு கொஸ்டின் வந்துச்சு, இந்தியா எதுல மெம்பர்ஷிப்ல இல்ல. ஓகே, சோ கரண்ட் அஃபேர்ஸ் அஃபேர் அப்படிங்கிறது என்ன அப்படின்னா a continuous event. ஒரு முடிகிற ஈவெண்ட் கிடையாது. இட்ஸ் கண்டினியூஸ் ஈவெண்ட் வேர் இட் இன்வால்வ்ஸ் a process, a continuing process. அதுதான் கரண்ட் அஃபேர்ஸ்னு சொல்றோம். இப்போ கண்டினியூங்னா let us take காஷ்மீர் அப்படி எடுத்துப்போம். what is happening in காஷ்மீர்? ஒரு ஸ்டேட் ஆஃப் அன்ரெஸ்ட். ஓகே, ரைட்? நம்ம கவர்மெண்ட் ஒன்று சொல்லுது, அங்க ஒன்று நடக்குது, ரைட்? இப்போ இந்த காஷ்மீர் பிரச்சனை நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம்? எஸ், the recent killings of, right, so targeted killings of minorities, Hindus and the Pandits. So ஒரு செக்யூரிட்டி சிச்சுவேஷன் அங்க இருக்குது. The government is taking it. இது கரண்ட் அஃபேர்ஸ். ஓகேவா? இப்ப இது இப்பதான் நடக்குதா இல்ல முதல்ல இருந்து கண்டினியூஷன் இருக்குதா? There is a continuation. So therefore here, right, say Kashmir, right, so it's a part of India since 1948, but right, the events which are happening has linked to the past. So therefore you have to know what's Article 370. It has been abrogated, right? Now Kashmir has been divided into two, Jammu and Kashmir, two union territories, right? So these are all the after events. This is what the current affairs is, where it is not an event which happens in 2 or 3 days or 2 or 3 months, where it is a process which you have to know for 2 to 3 years. Okay, right? That's what the current affairs is. And sometimes you should also know the past history to better understand the current affairs. This is what. Okay, right? So that means most of us think that current affairs is what? What is currently happening, right? So I will read the newspaper, go for all the things, right? So date wise, I'll make, right? So notes of the events and say that, yes, I will prepare current affairs. But you look at the question, right? Nothing can be answered because you have no connection with the past or else with the future. So therefore here, the present has to be understood in connection with the past. There is a cause, there is a consequence. That is why I say current affairs. Now, what is the source for current affairs? Right? So I say for the subject, we said it is NCERT, class notes, and some standard books as going to be prescribed. What for the current affairs? Source of current affairs. Of course, there are a lot of websites now. right, can go and seek. Okay, right? For a difference, the difference between fruit and fruit juice. What is it? Hmm. Hmm. Juice na extra எடுத்து கொடுத்துறீங்க ஈஸியா புழிஞ்சு குடிச்சிடும். Okay, right. So then the fruit, right? So juice carries the all the essentials of the fruit. Na sometimes yes, right? Most of the time it will be waste. அதுக்காக கரும்பு சக்கையோட சாப்பிட முடியாது, right? But still only when you right so bite that you will know what is needed and what is not needed. Okay, well, அதுதான். Where what is the problem with right? So going for these websites is this, right? You may not know what is needed and what is not needed. You are going to drink, right? What they have given, not what you need. Okay, உங்களுக்கு sugar கம்மியா போடலாம் இல்ல பிடிக்காது இதெல்லாம் இல்ல, right? So where what is happening, right? You are going to consume what they are going to sell you. இங்க அப்படி கிடையாது. Here the source எப்படி இருக்கணும்னா, right? You should make it a resource from a particular resource, right? Okay, so by turning into something, we can be saleable. So that can be right saleable. That is what consumable. உங்களுக்கு அது உங்களுக்கு ஏத்த மாதிரி உள்ள வரும். Okay, news ஒண்ணுதான், news ஒண்ணுதான், but we can understand in different perspectives. Maybe in prelims, it is the only story. In the mains, you can take a different stand. But இது வர்றதுக்கு என்ன பண்ணணும்? What is the source, right? Leave all these things, right? The only source is newspaper. The only source is newspaper. Okay. இப்போ newspaper என்ன வருது? News வருது, right? அந்த நியூஸ் என்ன சொல்றாங்க? Something happened here for someone or something is right, happening throughout. So they discuss something. Okay, right? Where they only talk about the event. அது என்ன பண்ண போறோம் நம்ம? தொடர்ந்து வாட்ச் பண்ணிட்டே வரப்போறோம். வரும்போது we will form a continuity. Right? So that we can give head, tail, and a shape to that event. That becomes a current affair. That becomes an issue. Right? Sometimes we also use the word issue. What is an issue? What do you mean by issue? Problem or a challenge, which is concerning a certain section of the population or the entire population. For example, let me say environmental issue. If I say use the term environmental issue, then I say that what? There is a problem. Communal issue. What is it? There is a problem among the communities. Okay. அப்ப என்ன பண்ணணும்? We have to understand issue நால என்ன பண்ணணும்? There must be a reason for the issue. And the issue creates some problems. Then there are ways to tackle it. Okay, well, right? So அப்ப என்ன பண்ணுவோம்? How we are going to do that? That is what the thing. In the depth of analysis, right? Overnight level, for which you should develop the habit of news reading, newspaper, and to pick up, right? What are the issues connected to us, right? What are the issues connected to us? How? Say here, again, take a look back at the syllabus. What are the things given? History, where we have ancient, medieval, modern India, and Indian national movement, and there is an art and culture. Do you have any scope for history in current affairs? History is a thing which already happened in the past, but the past, right? So may come back now. For example, right? So what is happening in Kiladi in Tamil Nadu? Excavations, which takes back the Tamilian civilization 600 years before. Previously thought that the Tamilian civilization was only 1600 years old. Now we say that it is 2200 years old. Maybe, right, further excavations may give a new light, but the Tamilian civilization, right, so maybe in correspondence with the Indus Valley civilization, right? Maybe, we do not know. Okay, right? So, where as per the records available, the urban civilization after Indus Valley civilization starts only in 1000 BC, the Ganges Valley civilization, right? So, no people believe that there was urban civilization after that. But as here, a new evidence says that yes, Tamil Nadu had a thriving urban civilization. So, at the same time, so it's a new thing. This is what is a current affair. Okay, right? Then geography. Just hope for it. Rainfall, drought, natural disasters, right? Agriculture, something ill, something, right? Then economics, of course, inflation, deflation, right? So this economics, so many things come. Polity, bills, events, science. one area which is most prone to current affairs because in the syllabus begins science and technology. Technology means what? Application of scientific principles and it's a constantly developing phenomenon, right? So, vaccines, take for example, right? So, go vaccine. Now what? A new vaccine has been introduced in India. What is it? Corbevax, right? So, it is an heterologous vaccine. What does that mean? So, booster dose can be a different dose, which means heterologous. So, you collect a lot of information. Say, maybe the questions may not be straight. They don't say what is Corbevax, right? They may ask something related to vaccine, where the related phenomena will be there, right? So, the questions will be straight, but it will be there, right? For example, yesterday, a question was asked regarding the match of following, where they are given about the places and the countries, right? Anatolia, Plato, of course, I heard about Turkey. Recently, news match it, they got, right? They're Catalina, right? It has been given Italy, right? Catalina Plato is in Spain as well as in Italy, right? So, what is the correct path? So, they ask about it, which means that if some news is happening in the around the world, you should know the places where it exists, not simply it. They may ask something connected to that news. Similarly, they asked question about, right, what are the countries bordering Afghanistan? Just two questions from map. The countries bordering Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, right? So, never heard about it. They are Central Asian countries, right? We know that Afghan problem is going. They never ask what is the problem in Afghanistan. What the question asked? Countries bordering Afghanistan. So this side Iran, that's in Pakistan, which we know. But about the Central Asian countries, what do we know? That is it. That's what. So what the UPSC expects here from the current affairs, you have to right. So pin a point and go spread over. So go for 360-degree analysis. What is it? When, where, who, why, what, how? All the questions has been asked. That is what the real current affairs is, right? So therefore, and in environment, what? Yes, of course, it is a evergreen scope for current affairs, which means current affairs has scope for all the subjects. Maybe even 100 questions can be asked from current affairs too, because it is syllabus, right? Now, say we always divide the question into static and dynamic. Static na அப்படியே புஸ்தகத்துல இருந்துனா அப்படியே லைன் வராது அந்த கான்செப்ட்ல இருந்து வரும். Dynamic means right, so with this current developments. Okay, say for example, right, we talk about Chandrayaan. Right? What is Chandrayaan? A mission to the moon by the Indian Space Research Organization, which happened in the past. But now we are right talking about another thing, right? A Gagan link, a manned mission to the moon as well as space. India the space group. That's a current development, right? Then we talk about GSLV rockets. Why? As a launch vehicle, right? Something like so, which means technology is goes on increasing. So current affairs it has scope in all the subjects. Now, what is a source? I said it is a newspaper. And where did the newspaper get the news from? News from right? Our Sunday, அது கிடையாது news. These are cheap political news. அது தேவையில்லை. நான் சொன்ன இந்த 6 சப்ஜெக்ட்ல right? The news எப்படி இருக்கணும்னா there should be two things. Either the news should be significant. அதுக்கு ஒரு significance இருக்கணும். The news should have a significance at the international level. Okay, or else national level. News may be local news, but the impact எப்படி இருக்கணும்? National and international. And the syllabus what has been given, right? So news, current affairs of national and international importance கொடுத்திருக்கும். That is it. So therefore, it should have importance. Why we call this important? Because it makes an impact. Right? It is going to have an impact on the lives of the people. That's why it is important. Okay, right? இப்போ இதுதான் significance சொல்லிட்டோம். சரி, இல்ல இருக்கலாம், லோக்கலாவும் இருக்கலாம், but it should have impact on a larger level, national level or இப்போ nothing but Kaveri water dispute. எடுத்துப்போம். Dispute between whom? Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Okay, right? So now it has state significance வச்சுக்கோ. ஆனாலும் என்ன? Federalism, interstate relation. It has a national significance. This, okay, right? Say, for example, let me talk about the Bhopal tragedy in the 1990s. So which happened, right? Methyl isocyanate, right? So it is a gas which leaked, which killed thousands of people in Bhopal. Okay. Incident of the Bhopal. And our significance in international level for environmental disaster. And the aspect of this is one. Therefore, it should have a significance of national or international importance in any of the 6 fields which has been given. Right. Sometimes international relations will also be asked. Right. So like the events APEC. Right. So and other things. And how to go for a newspaper as well. Where does the newspaper take the news from? Okay. Right. Say you can see that all the newspapers tell the same story. Right. Maybe in their own way. எல்லாத்துக்கும் source ஒன்று தான் newspaper, but maybe in their own way, right? So they can interpret and come with a different analysis, but the news is one. So what is the source, brother? It is the government source, PIB, Press Information Bureau. Okay, right? So it is the official information provider to all the news channels and newspapers in India, right? It is official thing. Okay, right? So yesterday a question was asked, right? So Modi has unveiled, right, statue of Ramanujan. Now, okay, இது வந்து தெலுங்கானா திறந்து வச்சாரு ஈஸியாக ராவணே சொல்லிட்டான் in Telangana, right? Ramanujan. Now, what is the philosophy propounded by Ramanujan? என்ன இது நீ பேப்பர் படிக்கும் போது ராமானுஜர் சிலை திறந்து வச்சாரு உயரமான சிலை, ரைட்? எல்லாம் ரைட்டு. அவர் என்ன சொன்னாரு தெரியுமா? This is what UPSC expect from. So where it can be, right? So got only from the newspapers, right? Say Gandhi பத்தி ஒரு article வருது. So Gandhiயோட memorial October 2. So it's been coming. When an article comes, right? So there are connected events in Gandhi's life which may be asked. So that will be the nature of the current affairs. Where